doesn't work, or the part that connects to the port doesn't work. So my battery is dead. So I'm forced to use this older computer, which has been wiped clean of all stuff to make it run efficiently because I don't use it for much. And now it's all screwed up.
Gotcha. You got to go to Swappa. You know Swappa?
No.
SWAPPA. It's like a reseller website where people just sell their old electronics, but they certify them usually and like report back on all the specs and details. And I went and got a 2015 MacBook for like $600, and the thing is mint. So,
well, what have I told you that thanks to Patreon and some other things happening, I'm going all in. I'm actually finally purchasing a new Mac, which I've never done.
Yep.
I've always gone the used route, and they do last a long time. But I'm finally going all in. Dario, former employee Dario, R.I.P. He's not dead. He just doesn't really work for me anymore. Said, listen, dude, I bought a brand new machine like 7 years ago. Fully loaded, haven't looked back since, like no issues.
Yeah.
So the amount of video that I have to edit now, I will do far more of it because half the time now I don't do it just because I know it'll take too long. So let's get back to Tahoe, Josh.
Do you want to get back to Tahoe, or can we take a trip back to our roots? I'm talking like OG Obstacle Discourse roots for a second.
Oh boy, what would those be?
Spider-Man is back in the MCU, Matt.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it.
I mean, we don't really have to talk about
Holland.
it.
I was really worried about Tom Holland and his paycheck.
Well, Tom Holland, first off, he was going to get paid either way. But if you don't follow a lot of non-OCR people in Instagram world, Tom Holland is a great follow. He put up the you ever see The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, of course.
With Leonardo DiCaprio when he was going to get like arrested or run out, and he just walks up on stage, he grabs the mic, he's like, "I'm not fucking leaving." He just posted that video. And then, people like The Rock comment on it and everything else. So Spider-Man is back, baby. Looking forward to a great Marvel Cinematic Universe involving Spidey.
What was the resolution?
I don't know. Somebody gave more money. I didn't even read the details on it, to be honest. I don't care. It's just billionaires paying billionaires billions of dollars.
Well, movie corner on the flight, not a lot of choices. And I had one long flight and one short flight on the way out to Tahoe. And the long flight, I was on the phone. So the short flight, I was like, well, I only have an hour, but what can I do? So I'm like, oh, I'll start Endgame. And the thing pops up. It's 3 hours. I forgot how bloody long it was. Yeah. So I saw a mere 1 hour of Endgame, which I loved. Didn't even get to the good stuff. Like they just start getting the band back together, right? By the time an hour is over, which I had kind of forgotten that was that much into it, that it seemed like that part happened a lot quicker, which makes me think that's where they can cut some time. Make that movie 220, 230. We don't need that long to get the band back together, right? And then I kind of hadn't thought of it before, but we have this whole Iron Man is almost dead at the beginning. And then magically Captain Marvel comes out of nowhere. And so I kind of think like it's a weird way to do it. Usually if you allude to someone's death, then like the other guy dies or whatever, but it was like, oh, he is going to die. It's just not right now.
Right. Yeah, a little foreshadowing. It was weird where he was like in the wheelchair with the IV drip and everything. And then he just got up and ripped it all out. He's like, I'm done with this. Ah. Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah. I did laugh when he said Build-A-Bear because I thought of you.
That was pretty good.
Okay. Can we go back now? Can we go back to Tahoe?
Now we can go back to obstacle course racing chatter. Yes.
Do you want to? I'll talk about something. At a previous Spartan World Championship race, I think last year, they tested the top 3 and then a random number in the top 10. Makes perfect sense, right?
Yep.
This year, men and women, not the top 3, just random numbers. So when I was interviewing Albin, he was like, do you guys need me for drug testing? And they were like, nope, we're gonna do. We got Ryan. I mean, we got Killian and somebody else. And he's like, okay. He says to me, so if you DQ either one of the top two, and I can be number one, but I haven't been tested, great.
Right.
So Nicole was tested, Killian was tested, and then random other people were tested, like not 2 and 3. It's really bad.
Interesting, because I was walking with, I don't know if did you watch any of the live feeds yet that I did?
I still have not.
Well, so there's a point where I actually was walking with Dave Watson, and I was just like, hey, Dave, got an update on where the women are coming in because we were waiting on the girls. And he's like, I think they're like 10 or 15 minutes out. And he was on the radio. It sounded like talking about drug testing, and I thought he said top 3 only, but I'll have to go back and listen to it. Maybe he said something else. But
no, it was a random number.
So there was a nice random chat with Dave Watson as we were waiting for the girls to come in. So,
well, speaking of which, I have to look back at the exact timing, but when you said you were coming down, I then did not expect you to get Tyre, and once again you over delivered. I did not think you were getting those, so I think we might have already started, because at one point, like it ends with you literally like running to the finish, and at that point we'd already started. I feel like, I don't know. I have to look. Have you figured that out?
No, I think it all worked out.
Because when you texted take over, I feel like I had already taken over.
I didn't think you did at all, because oh no, there was probably a gap there where you did, because my phone actually, so when I was going down to cover the girls up top, my phone literally froze. I got the message saying your phone is too cold. You need to wait for the temperatures to restore. So at that point, you probably took over. And then when I got in the tram, which was probably about 25, 30 minutes later, and my phone was warming, I could use it again, you had probably already done some from there. And then I went to the bottom and took over the guys and girls at the Tyre.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I'm definitely going to do I'm definitely going to edit it all together. And I realize now that I ordered this new computer and it takes like 2 weeks, and I don't want to wait that long, but that's a lot of data to crunch if I try to make a video. I really would like to do it though. Have you watched any of Spartans, and is it any better than ours? He asked, expecting the answer no.
I did watch all of the Spartan coverage yesterday. Well, I had it in the background for a little bit as I was working and whatnot, but I'm pretty sure I watched most all of it. I mean, the commentary is the commentary, right? It's David Magida, it's Kevin Donahue. They always kind of wrestle for airtime, the two of them, it seems like sometimes. Magida needs a little more like pizzazz in his presentation, I feel like. But they did the same thing in this race that they did at West Virginia, and I'm just going to jump right to the end, is they covered the men. So we saw Killian win, obviously. I don't know if you knew this, but Killian was an Army Ranger. Atkins second. And then they had Newell come in. They had Ian Hosick. Like, they showed those. I don't know if they showed Ian, actually. But they showed Aaron Newell finish, and then they said, here's your top 5. Here's Ian Hosick, etc. For the women, they showed Nicole Miracle win. They showed Lindsay win, and then they showed nothing else. They didn't show Miriam coming third. They didn't show Rebecca Hammond coming fourth. They didn't show, I'm forgetting her name now, but it like ended abruptly. It's like, okay, Lindsay and Nicole are done, and here's the top 5 women. Da-da-da-da-da. Thanks for joining us next year, blah, blah, blah. So, they kind of skimped a little bit. They also didn't show on the live feed Aaron Newell's monkey in the middle.
Oh, best part of the whole weekend.
It was on their Instagram story, which is great, but now it's gone because it's 24 hours later. But that, like, showing him complete that obstacle should have been like one of the paramount things, because that was like right when he was about to catch Killian, or could have caught Killian possibly. But other than that, I mean, it was pretty good. Ours is more of it's live. You get the on-the-fly commentary. You get interactivity with the crowd that are watching you. Like, I have a hard time keeping up with the chat as I was running around, but if I had like a gimbal and everything, and I'll do better next time.
Well, I don't think you should worry about the chat when it's action. When you're waiting for them to come in an obstacle, you can chat. You should just be saying, hey, tell your friends to tune in if they're not tuning in yet. Give us some hearts. I think that helps. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But that's pretty typical. I realize that at pretty much every U.S. National Series, after the top 2 women come in, maybe 3, boom, like it's ghost town. It's like they go to do their thing, they go to produce or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And of course, we got the standard, you didn't cover Miriam enough. She's amazing. And why didn't you cover her more? And it's like, because I'm a crew of 2 people, you know what I mean?
Right.
Spartan has a few more people and should be able to do more. That being said, if third place takes that long, they're less likely to stick around. And there was a pretty big gap, as I recall.
Yeah, there was a pretty big gap. They covered for a good bit of it. They covered what was the girl's name? Ulrike. I'm probably butchering that name. Ulrike like Svensson. So they covered her for a bit because she was obviously in the mix, and then beyond that, not much.
Well, I got to say this, again to like Spartan going with the team they've chosen, and clearly this is their team, is when you've got 2 people who, sorry, Kevin and Dave, spend most of the time telling you how smart they are, how much they know about Spartan history. Like, your job is to give us information. Your job is to inform and entertain. And usually one of those people is more of the straight man, right? Like when they brought that pro in and then Megiddo was the color guy. And that makes sense, right? Megiddo can add color.
Was that Pat Parnell? Was that him?
Yes.
Yeah, he was excellent.
Right. And of course he was, but Spartan doesn't want to pay Pat Parnell, right?
Right.
So when you have a pro and then you've got your athlete, you've got someone who's been a Spartan pro, they add that color. Hey, this is how I experience that obstacle. Yeah, sometimes when your hands get cold, this happens, blah, blah. But when you've got Kevin and Dave, and that's all they can do is look how smart I am, look how much I know, look how smart I am, look how much I know. Like, I'll tell you this to your face, guys. It's like I'm not talking shit behind your back. We can talk about it man to man, like whatever. But that's just what we experience over and over and over again, and that's not entertaining. That's not good.
Yeah.
Think about yourself less. Think about us more. I probably can't watch. I've never watched the whole show. I really can't. I tried during West Virginia since I wasn't there, but I found myself skipping ahead. You should definitely go back to our coverage. It's the 3rd or 4th video. It says Monkey in the Middle Men or Twister Monkey in the Middle Men. That's when I took over. First time I took over. And you're going to watch Aaron do it twice as fast as anyone. You're going to watch him lâcher, which nobody did. Nobody completely
that was
leaves
insane.
Both hands off the obstacles at the same time. And it was funny, at dinner we were watching it, and Killian literally takes twice as long. And then Aaron comes through, and then Woods was like, I was pretty fast too, wasn't I? Sorry, Woods, you weren't as fast as one Aaron Newell. And since nobody wants to agree that his nickname should be Snoopy, he needs another nickname, because I wanted Snoopy to catch on, but it didn't. So can we give him another nickname?
What did they call him at NORAMs? Did they call him like Aaron Money Newell or something like that? I'm gonna have to go back and look at that video. I forget what they called him, but they gave him some weird nickname there too.
All right, let's talk about Sunday's choice for a championship race, and I want to give the background on this. Dave Watson, in our first conversation of the year, was all about what an amazing experience World Champs is going to be. It's going to be a festival. It's going to be a whole weekend. We're going to have speakers and bands, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And you and I said on this program, I don't think people are going to stick around Sunday. If you're not racing, you're probably going home. There's definitely friends and family, and there's definitely quote-unquote hardcore fans. But if you can have an opportunity to get home to your family, especially flying West Coast, East Coast, you're probably going to do it. Now, I do like it as a standalone race because it kind of should matter, right? That age group and champs are all on the same day and open the day before. I do like that. However, as we predicted, it certainly wasn't a ghost town, but put it this way, I could not get a parking spot anywhere on Saturday afternoon. If you arrived after 9 a.m. Saturday, you were parking in the next fucking town.
Yeah.
And Sunday, I pulled right up.
Yep.
Now, what one of them told me, I can't remember who it was, Woodsy or Atkins said that the festival area wasn't more packed, but that they did experience more people on the course than they have before. So maybe more people went up to the swim. I don't know. How packed was it up there, or was it?
It wasn't. There were no spectators there whatsoever.
Okay.
The people that were up there were volunteers, people who were filming, lifeguards, and competitors. That's it.
All right. Well,
up
somehow
top at the like Olympus and stuff like that, at the top of the tram, there definitely were spectators up there. But
I mean,
a few.
When I filmed Monkey in the Middle, which was a really good place to be, it was like you just walk just off the bricks, and there it is. It it wasn't lined with people. It wasn't like the start, right? Like the start, it's crazy and like people way up the hill because you can't, or way down the line because you can't fit. It
Right.
wasn't that. So anyway, I do like it as a concept, but no, it's not. Sorry, it's not a 13-mile race. Is not really a spectator sport.
Yeah, and I don't know that Tahoe, like, it's a great little village, but it's not very like congregated spectator friendly. So, if we're going to compare something, compare Stratton or Blue Mountain, right? Those have much more wide open areas, where Stratton was sort of like snaking your way through these different areas. It wasn't a place for like 500 people to converge. And not that they really had anything like that at Blue Mountain or Stratton, but there was not like one single area, so everything was kind of segmented a little bit. So the crowd definitely didn't seem like it was huge. Now, here's what they should do, and this is my 2 cents, but Spartan, you can have it for free. I'm all for the Sunday event, but you have to do it when there's a Monday holiday. So why not do it on Labor Day weekend? So do Labor Day weekend, let people travel, let people fly home on Monday, right? You push the championships up a little bit, you give more space in between Sweden, more space in between Greece, right? Instead of having it so compacted. And then you've got time for folks to travel back and forth if they want. So, driving travel is probably going to suck because Labor Day road travel always is pretty garbage. But if you're going to do it on Sunday, and I don't know that they'll do it on Sunday again next year, I really don't. And there's a ton of other variables. But if you're going to do it on Sunday, do it where there's a Monday holiday. And I think that'll alleviate a lot of it.
Okay. Speaking of Stratton, how happy were you when they announced OCR Worlds back in Stratton?
Well, I'm 50-50, to be honest. I'm psyched that OCR Worlds is coming to Stratton. Super excited for that. I mean, it's my favorite event of the year, of course. But that means for us in North America, we lose NORAMs. So no qualifying regional event on the same continent as the World Championships. So that sort of stinks a little bit. But especially, when I think back, I was like, all right, essentially I'll just miss another event just like that. NORAM and OCRWC are very, very similar. The obstacles would be the same, right? I think the competitor experience would be the same. It would be great to have two of those, but I'm not missing anything sort of unique. Now, there might be an opportunity if Adrian comes out and says, now we're going to do a European regional championship and launches that next year. I don't know, but I am incredibly excited. I think Stratton is an amazing venue. I wish there was a little more runnable terrain, like more high, trails up in the top that are more flat, so you can, do hill work and speed work and things like that. I don't know if they're going to find any more space for it, but I am incredibly excited that means I'll get at least, hopefully, 2 more years.
Well, but were you excited before you knew it meant no event? Were you just like, yay, or did you automatically know that meant no event?
I mean, I had pretty much assumed it meant no event, and I reached out to Adrian just to confirm that and he's like, yeah, I think I know what the confusion is, so let me clarify it. And they went out and reposted and updated. But I was super excited when they announced it. I was a little confused that they were announcing it a week and a half before the event, and they also had at that point hadn't released any information about NORAM, so it was a little odd timing wise. But just in a bubble, if you tell me OCR World Champs at Stratton in 2020, I'm through the roof, loving it. I already booked my room, so.
I wish you hadn't said that because I was going to do that before like the rates go up or anything and before everybody does it. So now I'm gonna have to do it.
You can cut that part out if you want.
That's a good idea. Do I ever edit though?
True.
Are you staying on site?
Yeah, I'm staying right at that hotel in the village.
And is it expensive? Have they jacked the rates yet?
They have not, no.
Okay. I won't release this until I book my hotel.
Okay. I used VRBO if you need a tip.
Is that Spartan's new communication device?
It is not, no.
Hey, speaking of which, how did your Fit Aid search go?
I opened the app for like 1 second, and I saw that I had to walk around and like tap a bunch of things on my screen, and I had no time.
Can we talk about the MS Paint version of a Spartan helmet they used as a logo?
It was pretty routine, pretty rookie style, yeah.
Well, I was contacting my contacts at FitAid when I arrived, and they said absolutely opening at midnight tonight. That was Thursday night. I woke up Friday morning, wasn't in search. They said search the App Store. I did. Wasn't there under Spartan or anything. They finally sent me a direct link and a QR code, so I was able to open it. And then I can show you screenshots. I was standing on top of the fucking FitAid can. I found one that was one right next to the stage. As a matter of fact, at one point, Dr. L was like next to the stage and like had just gotten off a panel up there. And I was crawling under the stage, trying to tap and look. It wasn't functioning. What are you doing? You're taking a selfie?
I'm looking at the app. Did you know that you can turn the camera around and it makes you a little Spartan helmet on your face?
Yes, Josh, I saw that too. Stay focused.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway, it didn't work. I wonder how much they claimed. I'm guessing very little. I talked to one of the nice ladies at the booth, and I said, it's not working. She said, let me show you. But then I never got around to it, and then it was full on, race week, right? Thursday and Friday, you had a little bit of time to fuck around. But after that, it wasn't. I'm thrilled OCRWC is coming back. It's not that I would have never gone to London, because if it was there one more year, I probably would have, because I've missed it the last 2 years, including this one. But I think the timing is actually good in that, everybody's hot. They just got back from Tahoe. It's like, let's make a big announcement. I thought that was actually pretty good because it was exciting. Like I'm on the plane. No, I was literally about to board the plane. So it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, no way, I got to share this. And then in the middle of the plane, it was like, oh, where's NORAM? Okay, so let me ask you another very important question. Is the United States the only country in the continent known as North America?
No.
So why? So that's a little. Come on, dude. Just say you don't want to do it. You don't want to spend the money. Don't say we can't do it in the same continent when in fact there are 2 other countries in this continent.
But he also then gets into the scenario where, right, he doesn't want to compete with the races that he also uses as qualifiers. So we're in a country where every weekend in the year you can find an obstacle course race.
So just say that. Just say that. Don't give me this continent excuse, which isn't true.
He's said it before.
I don't know. Just say we're not going to do it. We're not going to do both this year. We're going to do one or the other. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I can tell you I'll be there.
All right.
I did put a proposal forward that we do the coverage, which, it means you wouldn't run those. So you're probably not willing to do that. Even if you were paid a salary, let's just real talk here. Even if we found money to pay you, would you be willing to not race?
It'll be a tough choice. I can't make that decision on the spot.
Okay. Okay. So Coldwater's cold. We covered that. Spartan drug testing. I think we got everything other than 7 terrains so far in 2020. Do you even care enough to talk about that? Oh, before we do that, I want to say something that I know this guy won't hear, so I can bot up that they're doing it. I did an interview for the Atlanta podcast, and here on the front porch, that's why I had to get off the last call. And about 2 minutes into it, I knew that this guy was like all PR'd up, and those are the worst possible kind of interviews where people are just afraid to talk. And he said something about entrepreneurs or whatever, what keeps them up at night. And I said, oh, what keeps you up at night? And he gave pretty much the same answer that our friend did. And I was like, yep, this thing's over. Did you just send me a YouTube link?
I did just send you a YouTube link. Do you want to look at it really quick?
I do, but can you believe that, dude? The guy actually said that to me. Like, yeah, I just, I want to make sure I make more of an effect on people. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Dude, the guy wouldn't say, at the end of the Atlanta podcast, if you've never listened, Josh, I do the semi-rapid fire, hey, let's do your Atlanta favorites. And I start with, what's your go-to Waffle House meal? Rank these in importance to you, Braves, Falcons, whatever. And he couldn't, he basically said, I love all the teams. And it was like, get the fuck off my porch. Get the fuck off my porch. This is a useless interview that I will never use.
He's a real fucking thought leader, it sounds like.
Oh my God. Down south, what we say if we fucking hate you, it's like, oh, bless his heart. I think I'm now going to use, you're a real thought leader, man. Great to meet you.
I didn't realize that when you talk to somebody on the phone, if they have that like Southern drawl and they say, "Oh, bless you," that really means they're like, "Fuck you."
Right. All right. So it's slowly opening. I don't know why it's taking so long. God, I'm dying to see this now. Oh, I can see the little preview pic. It says the augmented reality video. Is it good or is it bad?
It's interesting. So Terrain Race has released.
Wait a minute, it's loading. Stand by, it's loading.
Okay, it's loading.
First, I'm probably gonna have to watch out an ad for Spartan or Savage. Oh, nope, no ad. Here they go.
Yeah, it's only 21 seconds. They can't do an ad on it anyway.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a meh emoji.
So for those that aren't watching along with us, Terrain Race released a video clip of the world's first augmented reality finisher medal. And the way the YouTube video presents it is you hold your medal up, and it does look like they are giving people a traditional medal, which is good because I didn't know if they were just going to give them some cheaped out, garbage medal and then say the augmented reality makes it fancy. So you hold your medal up, and they've got medals for all of their events. Bubble Run, Muddy Dash, Blacklight Run. There's another one in there, I forget. Glow Run. So you hold your medal up to your phone, and you'll use a smartphone app, and the app makes the medal sort of come alive. So the little monkey pops out, the flag is waving in the background, bubbles are flying out of the mouth of the monkey. It's pretty interesting. I don't know how that's going to translate into what people are going to use it for social media. Like people want to show their medals off when it comes to Medal Monday and all that stuff. And I don't know how that translates, but it's interesting. It should be a unique way to, kind of display your medal and show it off. So props to them for sort of thinking outside the box, I think. This is iteration 1.0 of it. So I guess we'll see where it goes.
Look at you giving some love to Terrain.
Hey, it's a new me. After my trip to the ER last night, it feels like
shut up.
My life could be shortening, so I'm gonna have to change my ways, Matt.
Okay. Well, before we go, who did you pick? Who was your podium picks for Spartan World Championships?
Hang on, I gotta pull them up because I went through like 17 iterations of podium.
The men were so hard, and that you had to leave somebody off that you liked, at least one person. So it was very, very hard.
Yeah, and I had my first two I know were obviously Albin Atkins. That was 1, 2. So for 3, I think I went with who the crap did I go with? I think I went So I went Atkins, Albin, Ryan Woods third, which if he didn't miss that stupid spear, I feel like he probably either would have had that or won. Yes. Then I had Killian fourth, Kempson fifth. And then I had some combination of Aaron Newell, Ian Hosick, a couple others in there, whatever. Okay. So completely busted on that one. And then for the women, I had, and let me go back. I had Johnny Luna Lima in my top 10, but I didn't have him. I think I had him 7th or 8th. Maybe I had him 6th. And Jack Bauer goes, no Johnny Luna Lima in your top 5? I was like, no, I just don't think he's got it. And Jack Bauer goes, good luck with that. I was like, I just don't see that he's like that impressive against the field that's this dialed in. And I think I caved to Jack making fun of me, and I moved Johnny Luna Lima to 5th, and I think I bumped Kempson out to 6th. Sure enough, should have just left it, and I would have been closer to being right.
On our call, I said I left one of the Ryans at the top 10, and he said, which one? And I said, I'm not saying. So he texted me after my thing, and he said, you forgot Kent. And I wrote, I didn't forget Kent. He's the Ryan I'm not picking top 10. And do you want to read his response? Can you read that?
His response says, you're a fool.
So Kent did not touch the top 10. And who's the fool now?
I want to know Jack Bauer's picks. Did we hear him?
Well, he's going to post, but I'll go ahead and say we had a lot of the same ones actually. Like I had Woods, Albin, Luna Lima, Atkins. He had Albin, Luna Lima, Woods, Atkins. He had Killian 5th. I have Kempson 5th and Killian 6th. I have 7th. I have Aaron Newell. Jack Bauer also left off Aaron Newell.
Ooh.
Then he had Hosick, that guy Albert Soleil, Kempson, and Jones. So here's where his research pays off. He gets Soleil right, and he gets Guillaume Bousset right? Because that's his like, look at me, I look at all the research all over the world.
Right.
So those basically, I think if you take those out, our scores might be a lot closer. But good for you, Jack. Your research paid off. I got hosed by Batris. I had Batris 9th, Hosick 10th, which I think I made a mistake. I think I would have swapped them anyway. But obviously Hosick was a big surprise for everybody. And then Kirk DeWint was 11th, and I had him 8th. So that was kind of a bummer. On the women's side, we both have Webster Miracle Hammond, right? And we know how that turned out.
Yep, I had that too.
Then we both have Faye next.
I didn't have Faye next. I had Miriam 4th.
Okay. Then he had Miriam, and I had Rhea.
So I was better than both of you. And
the actual was Alex Walker, who I predicted 8th, and he predicted 10th. So I think that kind of explains it. Shit, I left Wastany off, damn it. I meant to have Wastany. No, I have Wastany 6th, and she was 10th.
I think I had her 10th.
Wetzel, I had 9th. Wetzel was 8th. He had Wetzel 7th. So there you go. I mean, like I said, we have most of the same names, but those two really jack up his points. I want to know who got anything close to the top 3 on like who possibly picked.
So Miriam. I have that information. One thing I want, and I know he probably knows it, I want to be able to go back and look at my own picks because I wasn't even sure, especially when you do in top 10. So I did ask him for just some preliminary information because I know he's going to release a ton of data around this. 257 people entered this contest. How many of those 257 picked Robert and Nicole to win?
None.
Correct. How many of them total picked Nicole to be first?
A bunch.
You can give me a percentage. Give me a percentage.
Half.
No, 5%. Only 14 actual people picked Nicole to win this race.
That means her and her family and her boyfriend?
I don't even know, I don't even know if they enter. How many people picked Robert to win the race?
Very few.
4. And of the 14 people who picked Nicole to win, only 3 of them had Robert in the top bracket butters all day long. And I love this. I thought it would, I think this worked out awesome. So,
dude, I think it's great for the sport. Absolutely think it's great for the sport. I was gutted for Woodsy, but other than that, I love the brackets being busted. What was I going to say? I think I said this already publicly. I'll say it again. First American #1 men and women since 2013 when Amelia and Hobie did it. Can you believe that? It's been that long since we had both a man and a woman in the #1 spot. Yeah. Since the national anthem was played twice at the championship. You got to go all the way back to Killington.
All the way back to Killington.
Isn't that crazy?
It's not that crazy. I mean, we have some high caliber athletes from all over the world. So
I wonder how many of those top 10 are going overseas to OCRWC, and if they like. I know Aaron is. I wonder if Hosick is. I wonder if a lot of these guys are gonna do it.
So I don't think Hosick is. I think he said it wasn't. I don't know if it was him or not, but I seem to recall him being like, those European guys on obstacles. I just can't get past them, which I totally get. For the women, I know Lindsay will be there. I know Nicole will be there. I would bet Rebecca Hammond might be there, especially on a flat course. I think she could really do some damage there. And she's strong enough in the obstacles where she can figure it out, even if the obstacles are more complicated and a little more fancy looking than what we're used to here in the States. And then beyond that, I don't know. I know we'll see Albin there. I'm interested to see our friends Leon and Nikolai and a few others. So
weave, motherfucker, weave.
Weave, motherfucker.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
All right, man. You gonna mash this into one big episode?
Yeah. How would you like me to send you that audio file? Because I don't think I can give you Patreon access unless you actually join it. So
that is correct, because we tried that with the Spartans. You know what's all right? So stop recording first.
Okay. Okay. Let's signing off.
Signing off.
Okay. Stop recording. Hang on.